Right guys, I'm back with another one, and what I'm going to be looking at today is the ATAS trading platform. It was a request from somebody in the CWP members group. They wanted to know how I'm using ATAS and just the general tools that I'm using. So today I'm going to be obviously looking at Delta, clusters instead of candles, which you can see here, CVD volume, open interest, and just generally going through the ATAS trading platform just to show you how I'm looking at it and how you want to be using it to try and get some really good trades. So yeah, let's get straight into it, guys. So when you download ATAS, a link in the description so you can download it. When you download ATAS, you're not gonna obviously have this, what I've got here. You're probably gonna have, if I open up a new page here, going to chart BTC USDT, you can obviously analyze that spot. This is futures, so we'll go into spot. Just for now, this is how it's going to be opening up in spot. I like to use the daily, so we'll let the daily load up. The daily's loaded up. You go back into chart again. You do have all these settings. You've got 1 minute, 5 minute, 10 minute, all the way up to weekly. You've got seconds, you've got ticks. Well, I don't really use any of these. I only use the top ones. Days, I like to really change it. You can do any day. You can do 360 if you want, 190, 90, 50, however many days you want. Then you'll just click apply, and then what it'll do is it will bring it up for you, like it has done here. So daily, I'll change that. I'll do 190. I'll apply that. So this is spot. So if you want to open up a futures, you can either duplicate, you can go into here, you can, wherever duplicate's gone, I can't see it, clone window, sorry, you can clone window, which will bring you the exact same windows what you've got up here. You can then go to the top left, all instruments, back to BTC USDT, and then open up a futures chart, which there'll probably be around about the same sort of data of what you can actually see inside it. So once this chart opens up, I'll show you how I would normally set it up. So now this has opened up, we'll then go into settings, we'll do the cluster settings after, visual settings, and then I don't like these lines and things like that. I will remove all them. We don't want that. That's show vertical, show horizontal, click them off. New session, I make that transparent so I can't see that. The rest of the settings I generally just leave however they want, but if you are going to be changing the background colour to a white or something like that, you are going to then have to go through all these settings and change them as well. So this is where you can change your candle colours if you want. I have purple and white, as you can see in the background there. You don't have to, you can change them. Same border and weight colour, you want that to be the same. The rest of it I don't really touch, so then I'll leave it like that. So then what I'll also do as well is, now I'm in here, you've got that's obviously your chart, what I've just shown you. That's showing you how many BTC, and then you've got this one that's next to BTC, clusters. So this will bring this up then. So what you're seeing now is, you can see inside a candle. You can see inside them candles. you can see where the big trades are actually going on. And at the minute, there's a lot of big trades going on. Personally, I don't really want to be touching BTC at the minute. There's too much going on with BTC. But what you'll generally see is, if I zoom in here, excuse me, if you can have a little look here, what you've got here is you've got buyers and you've got sellers. So at the top of this range where we got to around 90k, just below 90k, buyers and sellers. Sellers started to take control. Up at this high here, down below, as you can see, buyers took control. This is why you're seeing the big push, the way you're seeing the big push at the minute. So I'm not really going to go over that too much. I will go over that in more depth, but I'm just trying to show you how to actually set your ATAS up. At the minute, very undecided, as you can see. Same again here, very undecided. Lots of trades going on, lots of volume. I would not be taking any trades at the minute. You just want to be watching. Don't try and catch the falling knife. Let the market show you where it's going to go. At the minute, like I say, it's just going to probably, for a very long time now, we're going to range. We're probably just going to go sideways like this for a very long time. Gather orders and then liquidate both sides. Because it's a very liquid market and that's just how it goes. Right, so what I'll then do is I will go into my indicators. I will type in open open interest, double click. Not really something that you need to change. You can leave it as it is. You can change it if you want. This is where you can change all your colours again. Mode, you can change it to bars if you want. Don't really see any sense in changing it to bars. It makes no difference. Bars or candles, I use candles. So then you go back to the indicators again. Type in delta. Double click delta. It brings up delta. Same again. Visual, you can have a high and a low. You can have a histogram. You can have bars. Same again. I use candles. Easiest one to use. CVD. Double click that. To be honest with you, the CVD and the delta show near enough the same data. So, you know, it's totally your choice, but I'd probably leave it as it is. We do have a volume profile here. That's naturally on the chart automatically. If you want to change the volume profile settings, right click on the line, go into settings. This is where you can this is the current day. You can have last day. You can have the current month, which will show you, as you can see, the VPOC of the current month is all the way back down at 69.7. The current daily VPOC settings again. Profile, you can have profile, TPO, market and TPO. That's just, it's basically the same data, but you're going to be looking inside the candle instead of looking at that. You can have the profile over the TPO. I'll just use profile. Current day. So that's showing you the current day of where the VPOC is, the value area low and the value area high. This is the current day's range between these areas, 88.2 and 87. There's your current day's range. So what you can also do is you can get rid of that, and then you can go to, no, it's not indicators, sorry, you can go into this then, and you can get the market profile. I didn't mean to put it that way. Let me just delete that. Bring that down a second. So what you can do is you can go from the range low to the range high. So we get the market profile, we'll click the range low, and then we'll take it to the range high. As you can see at that range, if you look at the volume here, there isn't a lot. Can you see how it's dropped into that high volume node there? And then it's pushed up again. And where you can see where it started to drop, there was a high volume node. It came up above where there was no volume, and then price did start to decline. If you also look at the range at the value area low, which were around say 49k, you had another volume node what was there wasn't a lot of volume inside that node. So this is why I like to use things like this. There's also another indicator, volume on chart. So when you click volume on chart, there's your volume. I don't think there's much difference between volume on chart and volume, apart from the volume will come into a box here, whereas this is on the chart. So then what you can also do is go into settings in the volume, and you want it to show behind chart. So you click volume, and that shows you the values of the volume. You can have it up, down, middle. I don't really touch that. You can have it as ticks. You can have it ask, bid. I just leave it as volume. Volume on chart's fine. You can also change the colours of the volume. What I generally do with the volume is I leave it as it is. I do change my colours. You can take them to a neutral colour if you wanted. And purple. That's what I do. Neutral colour, blue. And then you can also use a filter. So if you click filter, and you click, say, 100,000 volume, that's going to show you where most of the volume was traded, the big volume. So we go back into settings again, and you can also set an alert on this. I will try and do another video with the alert. 200,000. So if you put 2 million volume, when that volume exceeds 200 million, it generally shows it in a different colour. If I just minimise this a second and minimise that. See, if you look on mine here, I've got a volume set, and I have it as a neutral colour. So when I see big spikes in volume, i.e. this area here, at the local area what I had marked out, it came down. Generally what you'll see is, you'll see the volume spike, delta decreases drastically. You've also got open interest that decreased drastically, but then if you're having a little lucky, you've got a slight divergence. You've got open interest dropping, you've got delta dropping, but when it continues to drop like this here, price is going up. So then what you're going to see is, you're going to see it retrace back into this area like it did here. And then that's a liquidation. That there is showing you that it's a liquidation. This is why these are powerful tools to be using in trading. That there was a massive liquidation. If you go back, and if we have a little look at the tops, same again, high volume here at this area. Delta dropped once again. CVD dropped. Open interest dropped, but didn't drop drastically. But when it can't get past this area, as you can see here, and that's why I had that area marked out, this is showing you that this is a local resistance for this. Whereas in this instance, where we have pushed up really high, it broke that local area of resistance. Open interest was increasing. CVD and Delta was both increasing at that same area. Whereas if you're going back to this area, where you can see a drop in these zones, it's doing the complete opposite. So you've got your divergence. This is why it's done what it's done at the minute. It has then fired off. And like I say, personally me, I think it's just going to go continue sideways. So if we go back into the, I'm trying to see which one are we using. This one here. This is why your volume profile will come in handy. So if you get rid of that volume profile at the minute, get another volume profile, and if you have a little look, the point of control is where most volume was traded, is around 67k. The daily volume profile, like I say, which is this one here, is a very short range. It's not a very big range, but the main point of control, like I've been saying, it's down here somewhere where most volume was traded. And I have said in previous videos, price is attracted to that volume. Generally, that's what price is attracted to. And this is why I like to use these settings, so I can see when I really want to take a trade or when I don't want to take a trade. You've also got in the cluster settings, if we go back into settings, cluster settings, I use volume, volume profile and volume proportion. You can then change that, well, when it wants to work, you can change that to a different colour. For some reason it just don't want to work, and I don't know why. In a cluster settings, cluster, that's just showing the borders around the candle. They don't really like to use that either. Heat map by volume, sorry. Then you can go into there and change it, and then what that's going to show you is where the most volume's getting traded inside each candle. As you can see at the minute, this is why BTC is not really taking a shit. But you want to see it do something like this, because if it starts to fall below these volumes, where you can see most of the volumes getting traded inside these, it probably is going to take a shit. So even coming back down to this area here, you can see where all the volume started getting traded at this area at 53.9. See how it came back to around that area, and it got bought back up fairly quickly. And then, you know, this is where we started to take off. Same again here, lots of volume inside it. It came down, tested it, and then fired off. This is why this is a really good tool to use. This was at the previous high as well, which was back here. So if we have a little look at the previous high, you can see where all the volume has been traded at this high. Generally what's going on is you're getting people starting to build longs at previous highs, and then it takes off from that area. So, you know, keep an eye on this area. At the minute we're at a very, very important area, but this was just me showing you how I would be setting up my ATAS trading platform. And then what you can do is you can right click again once you've set it up, go into settings, right click, go into templates, go into settings, and then what you do is you'll add it and then type in your template, click OK, and it saves it, and then you can favorite it by just clicking that little star. So then next time when you come onto the actual platform and you go into templates, the ones that you saved are here now, so then you can click straight onto them and then have a look. But you are going to have to change certain things like this. Generally that's what I'd be doing. I like to normally use 250 on BTC, and I'll apply it, and then it shows you basically the same sort of data, but that's how I'll do it. And then if you want to look on spot, you can then clone the window. When it loads the window up, you can then go to the top left hand corner, instruments, BTC, USDT, and then this is going to show you the spot chart. The only difference on the spot chart is I don't think you get open interest because it's spot. So, you know, think about that. But it generally does show you the same sort of values. This, I'd probably click auto on that, and then it shows you the same sort of values but on the spot market, as you can see there. Let's open it up a little bit. Same sort of values. Most of the trades are around this area at the minute. I can't really see much apart from it's just going to range in this area for a while now. To be honest, I'm not buying BTC at the minute. Well, you know, my personal opinion, like I say, this is not financial advice. Why would you want to buy BTC here? This makes no sense to me at all, why you'd want to buy BTC here. Just click that off. Click that off. That's just basically how I'll be setting my chart up. I want to see there is a massive CME gap around this area as well in BTC. For it to continue and be a really healthy bull run, as people keep saying, you want to see it retrace. If it doesn't retrace and it does come up to these areas, the number that I'm not going to say, just a little joke between the CWP members, is, in my opinion, in 2025, this, and if it does go up to here, it's going to be a nasty bear market. In every single market, price just does not continue to go up. At some point, people are going to cash out. Why would you keep holding? If you bought BTC down here in the 35k range and you are now in the 90k range, you have literally got from 1 BTC, you have now got 3 BTC, and your 1 BTC that you originally purchased is now worth 90,000. So you technically got 3 BTC. Why would you not cash 2 BTC out and keep you 1 BTC? That's my personal opinion. Also, I think what's going on, MicroStrategy are buying a lot at the minute, which is keeping BTC above these prices. And where I'm looking at the minute, you can clearly see they are suppressing people that are selling BTC. So every time it comes down into these areas, they are just buying and buying and buying. So my personal opinion will not be to short BTC right now. You want to see it invert. We've also got a little fair value gap inside there. Like I say, there's a CME gap around this area here. For a healthy continuation, we want to see it drop down into here, but for now I reckon we're just going to go sideways. As for the rest of this up here, I don't really use much of it. I only use what I've shown you. Like I say, the indicators that I use are here. These are an order flow indicator that you can use, and that's just basically showing you the orders that are coming in and out. There's also DOM Trader. This is basically the same as what's going on here. Things that are coming in, buy, sells. It's very similar to looking inside the candle. Don't think that you're just going to become an expert overnight, because you're not. But also what you've got to be looking at is, you know, is these here. This is what you want to be looking at. So I'm just going to finish off on Delta. So Delta, what Delta is showing you is, Delta is showing you you've got a market sell to a limit buy. So when you sell, somebody has to buy. This is why it's an auction, in effect. When you sell, somebody's got to buy that coin. So when you buy, somebody's got to sell. Generally it'll be a limit sell, and generally it'll be a limit buy. That's how it works. And then with the open interest and Delta, if open interest is rising and Delta is positive, you're probably going to see it push up. At the minute, I'm looking on the daily on the open interest. The open interest is decreasing, and the Delta is also decreasing, but it's not drastically decreasing. You also want to use your volume. We've got a lot of volume here, so you just want to be careful what you're actually trading at the minute. So then you've also got, so when open interest starts to flatten, like it has done here, and people are building shorts, and the market's absorbing them, like you can see right here, what will happen is price could push again. Like I've said, this is not going to be healthy overall, and it could cause a massive cascade short or a crash in the market, where people have bought it up here and they're going to be sat holding a bag of dicks, which is probably not going to be good. So then you've also got, well, you know, when the market's absorbing it and it pushes up, it's the same scenario when you're longing at lows. So when you're longing at lows and you've got open interest flattening out, you know, it's the same scenario of what's occurring. If people are building longs up here, this is flattening out open interest. That's telling me that people are losing interest. Same with Delta. Delta's coming down. It's the same sort of scenario. That's why I like to use these tools. So then what you've got positive delta, an open interest rise with a big volume. People are getting absorbed, and then price will drop and liquidate all the late longs. So that's how I use these sort of things. And then you've got delta that drops, open interest drops, big volume comes in, price will make a fast recovery to the upside once it's took them late shorters out at these areas, you know, like you've had here. You've had something very, very similar around this area. You know, and if people are building longs at the highs, which people are probably going to be doing, and price drops, it's causing a mass liquidation to drop in at this area, and then price will start to push back up. This is what we want to see at the minute in BTC. But like I say, BTC at the minute, we've got is it this CPI data coming out today, I think. Can't guarantee it. See, it's same again, you know, I've just seen that popping up there. When you see shit like that, oh, Bitcoin might go to 500k. Fucking, these guys are off the fucking heads. You've also, what you've got to look at as well is, I like to use the liquidation heat map. People at the minute, in the liquidation heat map, go to the weekly, people are building shorts here, which could cause price to pump again. Take all them shorts out, yeah? And then what it'll do is, it will take them all out, and then it will finally come back down. You've got a lot of liquidations around this area as well, so just keep your eye on these areas. You know, be very, very careful with what you're actually doing with this at the minute. You've also got USDT dominance. If it starts to recover back up into these areas, the whole market's going to take a shit. You've got BTC dominance keeps pushing, which is causing, you know, a lot of these coins like Ethereum dropping. If you look at the correlation between them both, Ethereum's doing this on the daily. BTC on the daily is doing something completely different to what Ethereum is doing. Look at Ethereum. Look at BTC. Let me remove that a second so you can actually see it. Let me move that line. Look at the difference. Ethereum has dropped nearly 10%. BTC on the other hand dropped 5% and has recovered 5%. Both ways. The correlation between them, you can clearly see that nobody is interested in Ethereum. Nobody is interested in altcoins at the minute. You know, look at most of these coins. Most of these coins are red. They're getting smashed to bits, and that's also due to the fact people want BTC, but it's also going to cause a cascade short to liquidate these people. Unless they're smart enough and they've just bought in spot, it's just going to cause a mass liquidation in most coins. You know, these coins that I'm looking at the minute, like Atom, look at the drop it's had compared to BTC. Look at the comparison. These coins are getting absolutely raped. That there is in 2 days. It's lost 20% in 2 days. It pushed 50% and it's already lost 20% of that move. So I'd be very careful with what you're buying at the minute. The crypto market is a bit fucked up right now. I'd be very, very careful with what you're buying. So I'm just having a little look at other coins, to be honest with you. There's only really one coin that's going sideways, and it's just not, you know, at the minute, BTC dominance. If BTC dominance keeps going like this, it could be a real problem for altcoins. I did say that in one of my previous videos. You know, you've got like, so you've got this here. So if you put a trend line in there, yeah, this is a weekly trend line, yeah, if you're using trend lines, that has not broken down below that trend line since November the 22nd. It's not broke below it. So why would you want to even take, you know, your longs on these coins? We had something very, very similar here. It continued to push from January 18th until it eventually did break down 2 years later, May the 20th. Is that May 2020? Yeah, May 2020. So then we'll go to BTC. Go to May 2020. May 2020 were here. BTC had started to have a massive push. Altcoins had a massive push as well. So that's the correlation between both of them. BTC starts dropping. BTC dominance starts to drop. BTC starts to push. Yeah, you're going to get your alt season. Until that happens, I don't see no alt season. I'd be very, very careful with what you're doing with these altcoins. These altcoins look like shit at the minute. I won't be trading any of them. But yeah, anyways, I'm getting out of here. That's it from me. That's your ATAS tutorial. If you do want anything else, send me a message and I'll see what I can do for you. Also, there's links in the description. CWP, James's Baccarat Indicators, Slim's Trading Bots if you want to get involved in that as well. I will leave a link in the description for ATAS to go download it. And that's it from me. I will catch you in the next one, guys. Happy trading.